Drummerly.com Unlimited Drama Series.
My wife Carla drops her bombshell over morning coffee, like she's discussing the weather. I'm bringing Evan to the office Christmas party next Friday. A secure husband would understand. I nearly choke on my eggs. Evan, her ex-boyfriend from college, the hedge fund prince who dumped her for a socialite 10 years ago, and now works as a consultant for her PR firm. Perfect, I say, forcing a grin. I already invited his wife Tina. Trust is a team sport, right? Carla's coffee cup freezes halfway to her lips. Her perfectly manicured fingers tighten around the handle. You did what? Called her yesterday. Sweet woman. Can't wait to catch up with her husband at the party. I lean back in my chair, savoring the moment. 20 years installing security systems teaches you to read people's tells. The slight twitch in her left eye. The way her breathing quickens. Classic guilt response. Jake, you can't just what? Trust my wife like she trusts me? I stand up, grabbing my work jacket. Besides, I thought it would be fun, double date style. The truth is, I've been watching Carla for months. Late nights at the office that smell like expensive cologne when she comes home. Whispered phone calls in the bathroom. Credit card charges at hotels I've never seen. My job involves installing cameras and monitoring systems for paranoid rich folks. You pick up skills. 3 weeks ago, I found her old phone in her purse. The one she claimed was broken. Funny how broken phones still receive text messages. Can't wait to taste you again. Evan, sent last Tuesday. Meet me at the Marriott, room 412. Wear the red dress. Carla, sent Thursday. I photographed everything before putting the phone back. Evidence. Always collect evidence. My best friend Jules runs a boxing gym downtown in the old warehouse district. Former cop. Built like a brick shithouse, loyal as a dog. I find him working the heavy bag when I stop by after my morning installation job. She's definitely cheating, I tell him, showing the photos on my phone. Jules wipes sweat from his forehead with a towel. What's your play? Public humiliation. Maximum damage. She wants to parade her boy toy around? Let's give everyone a show. You sure about this path, Jake? Once you go nuclear, there's no coming back. I think about our wedding day. How beautiful Carla looked. How she promised to love and honor me. How we dreamed of kids and growing old together. Then I think about her lying to my face every morning for months. She made her choice. Now I make mine. Jules nods slowly. What do you need? Your gym has security cameras, right? High definition? Yeah. Why? I'm going to need to borrow some equipment. And maybe your expertise on how to really hurt someone without leaving marks. That evening, Carla works late again. Or claims to. I use the time productively. First, I call my sister Kara, who works at the city records office. She owes me favors from when I helped her through her messy divorce. I need you to dig up everything you can find on Evan Morrison. Financial records, property ownership, business licenses, anything public record. Jake, what are you planning? Justice. Can you do it or not? Give me 3 days. Next, I install a few extra security features in our house. Tiny cameras, audio recording devices, all perfectly legal in your own home. If Carla brings her boyfriend here, I want documentation. Finally, I researched Tina Morrison, Evan's wife, socialite, charity board member, inherited money from her father's real estate empire. But most importantly, she has no idea her husband is cheating. Her social media is full of happy couple photos and anniversary posts. I craft a careful message. Mrs. Morrison, this is Jake Patterson, Carla's husband. We met briefly at the Chamber of Commerce event last year. I wanted to invite you to my wife's company Christmas party this Friday. I know Evan will be there for work, and I thought it might be nice for the spouses to attend together. Please let me know if you're interested. She responds within an hour. How thoughtful. I'd love to come. Evan mentioned the party but said it was just a work thing. I'll surprise him. Horrific. When Carla comes home at midnight, reeking of wine and guilt, I'm waiting in the living room with a glass of whiskey. How is work, honey? Long day, lots of client meetings. She won't meet my eyes, I'm sure. By the way, Tina Morrison is excited about Friday night. Really looking forward to seeing Evan again. Carla goes pale. Jake, I think there might be some confusion. No confusion at all. Should be a memorable evening. I head upstairs, leaving her standing in the living room. Through the hidden camera I installed, I watch her frantically texting someone, probably warning her lover that his wife will be there. Too late, sweetheart. The wheels are already in motion. Friday night arrives with December snow and the promise of blood in the water. I wear my best suit, the navy one Carla bought me for our anniversary 3 years ago. Ironic. The Riverside Hotel ballroom is decorated in corporate Christmas cheer. Red and gold everything, a jazz quartet in the corner, and enough alcohol to float a yacht. Carla's PR firm knows how to throw a party. I arrive fashionably late, scanning the room like a predator. There's Carla by the bar in her red dress, the same one from the hotel photos. She's laughing at something Evan is whispering in her ear, his hand resting possessively on her lower back. Evan looks exactly like what he is, entitled rich boy who peaked in college. Perfectly styled hair, expensive suit, the kind of confident smile that says he's never faced real consequences for anything. Jake! Carla spots me and waves, her voice pitched too high. Come meet everyone! I stroll over, nodding to her coworkers. Marketing Director Susan, Accounts Manager Brad, a few junior associates whose names I never remember. They all know me as Carla's blue-collar husband who fixes things and stays quiet at company events. Evan, good to see you again. I lie smoothly, extending my hand. His handshake is weak, sweaty. Jake, Carla's told me so much about you. All good things, I hope. She's told me plenty about you too. The color drains from both their faces. Before either can respond, I check my watch. Tina should be here any minute. She's so excited to see you, Evan. Said she had a special surprise planned. Tina? Evan's voice cracks slightly. My wife? Of course. Didn't Carla tell you I invited her? I thought it would be nice for the spouses to get acquainted. You know, since you and my wife have been getting so close lately. The word close hangs in the air like a loaded gun. Carla grabs my arm. Jake, can I talk to you privately? In a minute, honey. I see Tina at the entrance. Tina Morrison glides into the ballroom like she owns it. Tall, elegant, wearing a black cocktail dress that probably costs more than I make in a month. She scans the room until she spots our little group. Evan, she calls out, waving. Surprise! The look on Evan's face is priceless. Pure terror mixed with the desperate calculation of a cornered rat. Carla tries to step away from him, but I smoothly move to block her path. Isn't this wonderful? I announce loudly enough for nearby tables to hear. All four of us together, like a double date. Tina reaches us, kissing Evan on the cheek. He stands frozen, probably wondering how quickly he can fake a heart attack. Mrs. Morrison, you look absolutely stunning, I say, taking her hand. Thank you so much for coming. Please, call me Tina. And thank you for inviting me. Evan's been working so many late nights lately, I barely see him anymore. I know exactly how you feel, I reply, looking directly at Carla. My wife's been putting in a lot of extra hours too. Sometimes I wonder what keeps them so busy. The jazz quartet finishes their song, leaving a moment of perfect silence. That's when I make my move. Actually, since we're all here together, I thought you might enjoy seeing some photos from Evan and Carla's recent business meetings. I pull out my phone, scrolling to the hotel pictures. They've been working very closely on several projects. Carla lunges for the phone. Jake, don't... But Tina is faster, snatching it from my hands. Her face goes through several emotions as she scrolls through the images. Confusion, recognition, then pure rage. The slap echoes through the ballroom like a gunshot. Evan staggers backward, his hand pressed to his cheek. Conversations stop. The jazz quartet misses a note. Every head in the room turns toward our little drama. You bastard, Tina hisses. You lying, cheating bastard. Tina, please, let me explain. Explain what? How you've been screwing this woman behind my back. How you've been using business trips to play house with your college girlfriend. Carla tries to salvage the situation. This is all a misunderstanding. Jake's been having some personal issues lately. Personal issues? I laugh, loud enough for the whole room to hear. Is that what we're calling adultery now? I pull out printed copies of the text messages. Handing them to anyone within reach. Here's some more evidence of my personal issues. Feel free to pass them around. The crowd presses closer, reading over each other's shoulders. I hear gasps, whispers, the delicious sound of reputations crumbling in real time. Carla's boss, Mr. Sullivan, pushes through the crowd. What's going on here? Just sharing some interesting communications between your star employee and her consultant, I say, handing him a full packet of evidence. Thought you might want to know how they've been spending company time. Sullivan's face darkens as he reads. Miss Patterson, Mr. Morrison, my office first thing Monday morning. This is insane, Carla shouts. Jake's lost his mind. He's been stalking me, invading my privacy. Your privacy? Tina steps forward, her voice deadly quiet. What about my privacy? My marriage? My life that you've been destroying while I planned charity galas and anniversary dinners? The confrontation escalates quickly. Voices raised, accusations flying, the crowd growing larger and more excited. Someone starts filming with their phone. By tomorrow, this will be all over social media. I step back, watching my carefully orchestrated chaos unfold. Evan tries to leave, but Tina blocks his path. Carla appeals to her coworkers, but they're all too busy reading the juicy text messages to offer support. Jake, please. Carla grabs my arm again. Can we talk about this at home? Like adults? I look down at her perfectly manicured hand on my sleeve. The same hand that's been all over another man for months. We're way past talking, sweetheart. But don't worry. This is just the opening act. I finish my drink, nod politely to the stunned crowd, and head for the exit. Behind me, I can hear Tina screaming at Evan, Carla trying to explain herself to Sullivan, and the excited chatter of 100 people who just witnessed the social event of the year. Phase 1 complete. Time for Phase 2. Saturday morning brings 3 things. A massive hangover for my wife, 17 missed calls on her phone, and the sweet satisfaction of revenge served cold. Carla doesn't come downstairs until noon, looking like she wrestled with a blender and lost. Her eyes are red, her hair's a mess, and she's wearing the same clothes from last night. We need to talk, she says, slumping into the kitchen chair across from me. Now you want to talk? Interesting timing. I don't look up from my newspaper. The local business section has a small item about the incident at the Riverside Hotel. Social media works fast. Jake, I know how this looks. It looks like my wife has been fucking her ex-boyfriend for months while lying to my face every single day. How exactly should it look? She flinches at the profanity. Good. I want her uncomfortable. It wasn't supposed to happen. Evan and I, we were just working together, and old feelings came up. Save it. I fold the newspaper, finally meeting her eyes. I've seen the hotel receipts, Carla. 17 different meetings over the past 4 months. That's not old feelings coming up. That's a full-blown affair. Her mouth opens and closes like a fish. How did you? Credit card statements. Amazing what you can learn when you actually pay attention to the bills. I pull out a manila folder, spreading the evidence across the kitchen table. Hotel receipts, restaurant charges, even a jewelry store purchase I never saw her wear at home. Diamond earrings from Tiffany's. Nice touch. When did you wear those for him? Carla stares at the papers like they might burst into flames. You've been spying on me. I've been protecting myself. There's a difference. My phone buzzes. Text message from Kara. Got the info you wanted on Evan. Call me. Excuse me a minute. I step outside to call my sister. Jake, your boy Evan's got some interesting financial arrangements, Kara says without preamble. 3 different LLCs, 2 of which are showing losses that don't match his lifestyle. Either he's really bad with money, or he's hiding assets from his wife. Hiding how? Offshore accounts, probably. I can't access those records, but the patterns are obvious. Guy's preparing for something. Maybe divorce. Interesting. So Evan's been planning his exit strategy while screwing my wife. I wonder if Carla knows she's just a side piece in his bigger game. Anything else? His consulting contract with Carla's firm is way above market rate, like suspiciously high. Might be worth looking into. I thank Kara and head back inside. Carla's still sitting at the table, but now she's crying. Real tears, not the manipulative kind she uses when she wants something. Are you going to divorce me? She asks. That depends. On what? On how much more damage you want me to do to your career. Her tears stop instantly. What do you mean? I mean, I've got enough evidence to bury you and Evan both. The question is whether you want to handle this quietly or if you prefer the public destruction route. Jake, you can't. Can't what? Tell the truth? Share factual information about my wife's adultery? Last I checked, that's not illegal. I sit down across from her, leaning forward. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to end it with Evan immediately. You're going to transfer half of everything we own into my name. And you're going to spend the next 6 months proving to me that this marriage is worth saving. And if I don't, then I release everything. The photos, the texts, the financial records. I'll make sure every client your firm has knows exactly what kind of people they're paying for marketing advice. I'll send copies to Evan's wife's divorce attorney. And trust me, after last night, she's definitely getting one. Carla's face goes white. You wouldn't. Try me. We stare at each other across the table. 20 years of marriage reduced to a hostage negotiation. The sad thing is, part of me still loves her. The woman I married, anyway. This lying, cheating stranger wearing her face is someone else entirely. I need time to think, she finally said.
Your intern filed this, then withdrew it. What did you promise her?
It was consensual.
She's 23 years old!
Watch more on Grammarly.com.
You've got until Monday morning. That's when Sullivan wants to see you and Evan in his office, remember? She nods, standing up slowly. Jake, I want you to know, don't. Whatever you're about to say, just don't. We're way past apologies. She heads upstairs, leaving me alone with the evidence of her betrayal. I gather up the papers, filing them carefully back in the folder. Insurance, that's all this is. Protection against whatever she might try next. My phone rings. Unknown number. Jake Patterson? Speaking. This is Tina Morrison. We need to talk. Interesting development. I'm listening. Not over the phone. Can you meet me somewhere private? I have information you need to hear. What kind of information? The kind that explains why your wife isn't the only one Evan's been screwing around with. Now she has my full attention. Where and when? Riverside Park, by the old bandstand. 1 hour. The line goes dead. I look up at the ceiling, hearing Carla moving around in our bedroom, probably packing, or calling Evan, or both. Time to see what other secrets are about to come crawling out of the woodwork. Riverside Park in December is a frozen wasteland of dead grass and bare trees, perfect setting for a conspiracy meeting. I find Tina Morrison sitting on a bench near the old bandstand, wrapped in a fur coat that probably costs more than my truck. Thank you for coming, she says as I approach. Thank you for the mysterious phone call. Very cloak and dagger. She doesn't smile. Up close, I can see the damage from last night. Her makeup can't quite hide the red eyes and stress lines. Rich or poor, betrayal hurts the same. I hired a private investigator 3 months ago, she says without preamble. I suspected Evan was cheating, but I needed proof before I could move forward with divorce proceedings. Smart. What did you find? Your wife isn't his first affair. She's not even his second. Tina pulls out a thick manila envelope. There have been at least 4 other women over the past 2 years, all connected to his work somehow. She hands me the envelope. Inside are photographs, financial records, and detailed surveillance reports. Evan with a real estate agent in Miami. Evan with a marketing executive in Chicago. Evan with what looks like a college student in Boston. Jesus Christ, he's been busy. There's more. The money he's been spending on these women, it's not coming from his legitimate consulting fees. I look up from the photos. What do you mean? I mean my husband has been embezzling from his clients. Small amounts, spread across multiple accounts. But it adds up. He's stolen over $200,000 in the past 18 months. The pieces start clicking together in my head. And your divorce attorney can use this how? To freeze all his assets and file criminal charges. But I need more evidence. Specifically, I need documentation of his relationship with your wife. You want to use Carla to nail him for embezzlement? I want to use everything I can to destroy the man who's been making a fool of me for 2 years. Her voice is ice cold. The question is, are you willing to help? I study her face. Tina Morrison isn't just angry. She's calculating. This is a woman who's been planning her revenge for months, waiting for the right moment to strike. What do you need from me? Access to any financial records showing Evan's payments to your wife. Hotel receipts, restaurant bills, gifts. Anything that proves he was using stolen money to fund their affair. And in return, I share everything my investigator found, including some very interesting information about your wife's boss, Mr. Sullivan. Now she has my complete attention. What about Sullivan? He's been taking kickbacks from Evan's consulting contracts, inflating the fees and splitting the difference. Your wife might not know about the embezzlement, but Sullivan definitely does. The corruption runs deeper than I thought. This isn't just about adultery anymore. It's about fraud, embezzlement, and conspiracy. The kind of stuff that ruins careers and sends people to prison. How do we prove it? We need someone on the inside, someone with access to the firm's financial records. I might know someone. I'm thinking about Jules, who used to work white-collar crime before he became a cop. He'd know how to trace money laundering operations. There's something else, Tina says. My investigator thinks Evan's planning to disappear. New passport, offshore accounts, the whole 9 yards. If we don't move fast, he'll take the money and run. When? Soon. Maybe within the next few weeks. I lean back on the bench, processing everything. Carla's affair was bad enough, but now she's potentially an accessory to embezzlement. Even if she doesn't know about the stolen money, her career will be destroyed when this comes out. Why are you telling me all this? I ask. You could handle Evan yourself through the divorce courts. Because I want him to suffer. Prison time, public humiliation, complete destruction of everything he's built, and I can't do that alone. You want a partner in revenge. I want justice, and I think you do too. She's right. The affair was personal, but this is bigger. This is about holding people accountable for their choices, making sure actions have consequences. What's the timeline? Monday morning, when they meet with Sullivan. That's when we make our move. How? Leave that to me. Just be ready with your evidence. Tina stands up, pulling her coat tighter against the wind. Jake, I want you to understand something. Once we start this, there's no going back. Your wife's career will be over. Her reputation will be destroyed. Are you prepared for that? I think about Carla upstairs, probably calling Evan right now to strategize their next move. I think about 20 years of marriage, of trust broken and promises shattered. I think about the woman I loved and the stranger she's become. She made her choice. Now I'm making mine. Good. I'll be in touch. Tina walks away, leaving me alone in the frozen park. I sit there for a while, watching the dead trees sway in the wind, thinking about how quickly everything can change. 24 hours ago, I thought I was dealing with a simple affair. Now I'm part of a conspiracy to expose financial crimes and destroy multiple careers. The smart thing would be to walk away, file for divorce quietly, and start over. But I'm not feeling particularly smart right now. I'm feeling angry, betrayed, and ready for war. Time to call Jules and see how deep this rabbit hole really goes. Monday morning arrives like Judgment Day. I'm dressed in my best suit again, sitting in the parking garage across from Carla's office building, waiting for the show to begin. Jules is in the passenger seat, wearing a wire and carrying a briefcase full of financial documents we've spent the weekend analyzing. Turns out my ex-cop friend still has contacts in the FBI's white-collar crime division. You sure about this? He asks for the third time. Too late for second thoughts now. At 8:47 a.m., Carla's BMW pulls into the executive parking level. She looks composed, professional, like she's heading into a routine meeting instead of a career-ending confrontation. Evan's Porsche arrives 2 minutes later. My phone buzzes. Text from Tina. Federal agents are in position. Sullivan's office is wired. Everything's being recorded. The plan is elegant in its simplicity. Tina's divorce attorney has been working with federal investigators for weeks, building a case against Evan for embezzlement. This morning's meeting with Sullivan is designed to get all three conspirators in the same room, on tape, discussing their crimes. Movement on the third floor, Jules says, watching through binoculars. I can see figures moving behind the glass windows of Sullivan's corner office. Carla, Evan, and Sullivan, probably reviewing their stories before the meeting starts. At exactly 9 a.m., my phone rings. Mr. Patterson? This is Agent Sarah Chen, FBI Financial Crimes Division. We're ready to proceed. Copy that. I watch as black SUVs pull up to the building's main entrance. Federal agents in suits and badges, moving with purpose. This is really happening. Jake, Jules says quietly. Last chance to call this off. No. She made her choice. Through the office windows, I see the moment everything changes. Sullivan's door bursts open. Agents flood in, badges out, voices raised. Even from across the street, I can see the panic on their faces. Carla appears at the window, her hand pressed against the glass, looking down at the street. For a moment, our eyes meet across the distance. She knows. She knows I'm here, knows I'm responsible for this. I raise my hand in a small wave. Goodbye, sweetheart. My phone rings again. Tina. It's done. They're all in custody. Charges? Evan's looking at embezzlement, wire fraud, and money laundering. Sullivan's got conspiracy and racketeering. Your wife, she pauses. Accessory charges for now, but if she cooperates, she might avoid prison time. And if she doesn't cooperate, then she goes down with the ship. I watch as they lead Carla out in handcuffs. She's crying now, the professional composure finally cracking. Part of me feels sorry for her. The part that remembers our wedding day, our first apartment, the dreams we used to share, but that part is getting smaller every minute. Jake? Tina's voice pulls me back to the present. There's something else. Something I didn't tell you before. What? The reason I knew so much about Evan's affairs, the reason I had him investigated. I've been planning this for over a year. Ever since I found out he was stealing from my trust fund to pay for his girlfriends. Your trust fund? My father's money. Evan's been forging my signature on withdrawal forms, using my inheritance to fund his lifestyle. This isn't just about adultery, Jake. This is about him stealing my family's legacy. The scope of Evan's crimes keeps expanding. Not just embezzlement from clients, but theft from his own wife. The man's a sociopath. How much did he take? Nearly $500,000 over 2 years. Money that was supposed to go to children's charities, medical research, education programs. He stole from sick kids to pay for hotel rooms with your wife. Now I understand the cold fury in Tina's voice. This isn't just personal. It's about justice for people who can't fight back. What happens now? Now we watch them burn. The media arrives within an hour. News vans, reporters, cameras everywhere. By noon, the story is all over local television. PR executive arrested in embezzlement scheme. Carla's professional headshot appears on screen next to Evans and Sullivan's mugshots. I drive home to find reporters camped outside my house. Microphones thrust in my face. Questions shouted about my wife's arrest. Requests for comment on the federal investigation. No comment, I tell them, pushing through to my front door. Inside, the house feels different, empty. Carla's presence has been scrubbed away by federal agents who searched the place this morning. They took her computer, her files, anything that might contain evidence. I pour myself a whiskey and sit in my chair, watching the news coverage. The anchor is explaining how the investigation started with a tip from concerned family members about suspicious financial activity. That would be Tina and me, the concerned family members who decided that justice was more important than keeping quiet. My phone rings constantly. Reporters, friends, coworkers, everyone wanting to know what I knew and when I knew it. I let them all go to voicemail. At 6 p.m., there's a knock at the door. I expect more reporters, but it's Carla's attorney, a sharp-dressed woman named Rebecca Martinez. Mr. Patterson, I represent your wife. She'd like to speak with you. I have nothing to say to her. She's willing to cooperate with federal investigators in exchange for reduced charges, but she needs to know if you'll support her through this process. I laugh, actually laugh out loud. Support her? After everything she's done? Mr. Patterson, your wife made mistakes, but she's not a criminal. She was manipulated by men who used her for their own purposes. She deserves a chance to make this right. She deserves exactly what she's getting. The attorney's expression hardens. I see. Well, I'll let her know where you stand. After she leaves, I sit in the growing darkness, thinking about choices and consequences. Carla chose to have an affair. Evan chose to steal money. Sullivan chose to enable both. I chose to expose them all. Every choice has a price. Tonight, they're all paying theirs. At midnight, Tina calls one last time. The FBI says Evan's ready to flip on everyone. Full cooperation in exchange for a reduced sentence. What about Carla? Depends on how much she knew. If she was just a pawn, she might get probation and community service. If she was actively involved in the financial crimes, prison. 5 to 10 years, minimum. I think about visiting days, conjugal visits, waiting for her to get out so we can try to rebuild something from the wreckage. Then I think about the hotel receipts, the lies, the months of deception. Jake, you still there? Yeah, I'm here. Any regrets? I look around the empty house, at the wedding photos still hanging on the walls, at the life we built together over 20 years. Tomorrow I'll start taking those pictures down. Next week I'll file for divorce. Next month I'll put the house up for sale and start over somewhere new. No. Who's In the morning, I'll call a divorce attorney. I'll start the process of disentangling my life from Carla's, of building something new from the ruins of our marriage. But tonight, I just sit in the darkness and listen to the silence. The sound of a house where lies have finally been replaced by truth, where secrets have been dragged into the light, where justice has been served cold and bitter and complete. 20 years of marriage, over in a single day. But some betrayals are too deep to forgive, too fundamental to overcome. Carla made her choice when she decided to lie to my face every morning, while planning to meet her lover every afternoon. I made mine when I decided that truth was more important than keeping the peace. Sometimes that's how it has to be. Sometimes the only way to save yourself is to burn everything else down.